Alright, so after putting up detailed videos on the newly released mirror dash cams, well, specifically talking about the 70mm S500 and the DDPAI MOLA E3, the under 10,000 budget mirror dash cam, it has created a lot of buzz, a lot of interest among mirror dash cams. And now many of you are now confused, like which one of the dash cams should you go with? Should you go with a traditionally mounted or a windshield mounted regular dash cam, or should you go with a mirror dash cam? I mean, what's the difference between the two and why you should prefer one over the other? So in this video, I'll clarify all your doubts. I'll put up all the details regarding the advantages and the disadvantages of having a mirror dash cam and having a regular windshield mounted dash cam. By the time you watch this entire video, you will have the complete knowledge to decide which one of the two dash cams is the best one for you. You're watching Travel Tech. Let's get started. So first, let's begin with the mirror dash cam. For example, I have the DDPAI MOLA E3 box right here. So the biggest advantage of having a mirror dash cam is that your windshield remains clean and unobtrusive. Because what happens in a regular dash cam is that you have to mount the dash cam on the windshield, and that creates a sort of an obstruction. I mean, if you haven't installed it properly on the windshield to your line of sight while driving, it might come up as a small obtrusion to the corner of your eye in case of a regular dash cam. But in case of a mirror dash cam, since it gets lashed or mounted on your pre-existing mirror, it doesn't create any extra obstruction, well, other than the fact that it's slightly larger than your pre-installed mirror by the company. That's not going to matter much, but the overall windshield remains pretty clean to use and you get a clear line of sight on the road. So that's one of the biggest advantages of having a mirror dash cam. The second big advantage, well, this might not be an advantage to some people because this is a subjective matter, but what I can definitely say is the mirror dash cams provide you a large display to play around with. You can do a number of things. You can watch the front camera, you can watch the rear camera feed, you can use the mirror camera as your regular reflective mirror, and you can watch pre-recorded videos. You can go through those videos, you can delete those videos, watch the emergency videos. I mean, you can basically do all of that stuff in a mirror dash cam, whereas in the traditional dash cams, specifically the non-display type dash cams, you cannot do any of those. You will have to connect the dash cam to the app in order to access videos, in order to see any content, or in order to change any settings. In the case of mirror dash cams, you can change settings on the go, just touch the screen and you're done with. That's also one big advantage the mirror dash cams have over the regular windshield mounted dash cams. The third biggest advantage of having a mirror dash cam is they provide you assistance while taking reverse. The same cannot be said about your regular windshield mounted dash cams. Forget the non-display type ones. So that is one area where the mirror dash cams have a definite upper hand over your regular dash cams. Specifically, if I talk about the 70mm S500, it has this dynamic guidelines which can adjust based on your requirement, which can definitely provide you some assistance while taking reverse. And specifically in those cars which do not have a reverse camera pre-built in, you don't have any third-party reverse camera, the mirror dash cams, I mean, solve both problems. They give you a dash camera and they give you a reverse camera. So it's sort of a combo offer if you go with a mirror camera. The last but one of the most underrated advantages of the mirror dash cam is that you can fill up your car with luggage. I mean, to the brim. You can completely block out the rear windshield and you will be able to still take a look at what's going on behind the car, courtesy the rear camera. So while on the go, while driving with almost zero latency, you will get a clear picture of what's happening behind the car, even if your rear windshield is completely blocked out of luggage. Now, when you have installed a regular dash cam, even so one with not a display, if you block out the rear windshield with some luggage or bags, you will have to completely rely on your inbuilt mirror, which is definitely blocked out because of the luggage, and you won't be able to see what's going on behind. So this is one really cool advantage of having a mirror dash camera, which probably no one has thought of. So considering all of these points, and if any of these or all of these points are a priority for you, then I think you should definitely go with a mirror dash cam than going with your regular windshield mounted dash cams. So all these points doesn't simply mean the mirror dash cams are simply the best. There are a few drawbacks to having a mirror dash cam. What are those? Well, to begin with, the display can be a bit distracting. Yes, since it's a large display and it's always on, more or less, unless you have turned it off. While driving, the display can be a bit distracting unless you have really good self-control to be not able to keep viewing on the screen from time to time. The second drawback of having a mirror dashcam, well, I really cannot call this a drawback, but let's just say what it is. The installation of the rear camera is a bit technically difficult to someone who is doing it for the first time and someone who has never done any sort of a installation in his car, compared to a regular traditional dash cam where the installation of the rear camera is pretty straightforward. It's simply plug and play. The installation of the rear camera in the mirror dash cam is going to take some extra effort, and you may need some extra help as well if you have no idea what you're doing about. But in case of a regular dash cam, even if you're doing it for the first time, you can do it pretty easily, the installation of the rear camera. The third important point to note while using a mirror dash cam is that since the camera is mounted on your pre-installed mirror, it can see the entire windshield from a behind perspective or from a rear perspective. This means that your windshield has to be crystal clear. If you have dust, if you have dirt or water drops or water markings on the windshield, the mirror camera is going to catch it all, and your video at the end may not be looking as clear as you expected it to be. This is one point where the regular dash cam really excels, because it doesn't need the entire windshield to be clean. It needs the area only right in front of the lens to be a bit clean to give you a very good footage. But in the mirror dash cams, as you're seeing right now, the windshield area covered in dirt will get caught in the camera, and the overall video footage quality does seem to come down a bit. So it's going to take you some extra effort to keep the windshield always clean if we are using a mirror dash cam. Last but not the least, this is not basically a disadvantage or a drawback, but this is something to be concerned about, especially in India, because in the mirror dash cams you have to install the rear camera outside the car, and when you place something outside the car, you never really know what's going to happen with it, because there are some people out there who really like to damage stuff, who really like to steal stuff, and they might damage the rear camera, they might cut off the wire, they might steal the camera. All of these things are pretty much possible. So this is something to be noted when you use a mirror dash cam. The outside installation of the rear camera might be problematic in such instances. So you need to remember these particular points when you're thinking about the mirror dash cam, along with all the advantages the mirror dash camera carries with it. So starting with the biggest advantage, regular dash cams, you have a wide variety to choose from. You get the ones with display, without display, with rear camera, without rear camera, with interior camera, without interior camera. I mean, the list is practically endless, and you get this in sort of almost all budget types. Less than 3,000, less than 4,000, less than 5, less than 10, 15, 20, 25, 40, 45. I mean, it's a wide range of price list as well. So the wide range of availability of this regular mounted dash camera is a big plus point for the traditional windshield mounted dash cams. So you get a large choice to choose from based on your convenience and based on your requirement. The second important point is that your pre-installed mirror remains undisturbed, and you get a clear view from your basically company provided internal rear view mirror. The regular dash cams, also some of them come in a very compact size, and if you install it in the right place, they can be completely concealed with your pre-installed rear view mirror, and it won't cause any obstruction on the windshield and can be concealed behind the actual rear view mirror. The rear camera in the regular dash cams can be installed inside the car, which means nobody can tamper with it, nobody can scratch it or try to steal it, because the rear camera is installed inside the car and not outside as in the mirror cameras. So that's one big advantage of having a regular windshield mounted dash cam. And as pointed out earlier, your entire windshield doesn't need to be clean, only the area right in front of the lens. If that's clean, you get a crystal clear footage. Even if the rest of the windshield is not clean, it has dust and dirt, it's not going to matter for your regular windshield mounted dash cam. Compared to the installation of the rear camera in a mirror dash cam, the installation of a rear camera in a regular dash cam is very easy. Just peel off the sticker tape and stick the camera to the windshield. I mean, it's that easy. That's what I said previously, because the installation of the rear camera in the mirror dash cam is comparatively difficult compared to the installation of a rear camera in your regular windshield mounted dash cam. So these are some of the biggest advantages of having a conventional windshield mounted dash cam compared to a mirror dash cam. But what are the disadvantages or the drawbacks of having a conventional dash cam? As I said previously, it can be a bit obtrusive if you haven't installed the dash cam at the right place in a right manner. I mean, some dash cams tend to be bigger than the others, so it might cause some obstruction to the eye while driving. Another disadvantage compared to the mirror dash cams, well, I'm specifically talking about the cameras which do not have a display, that you cannot view the recordings or alter the settings until and unless you connect your dash cam to the smartphone. Of course, you can do it in the dash cams which also have a display, but the display size is comparatively much smaller compared to what a mirror dash cam offers, and you will have to squeeze your eyes to see what's going on within that small display. So even though some dash cams come with a display in the conventional manner, the display is quite small to see all the details, and it's not as easy as in the mirror dash cam. So this is one area where the conventional dash cam falls short compared to a mirror dash cam. Last but not the least, the conventional dash cameras, specifically those which have a display, in the strict sense, they cannot be used for taking reverse. I mean, you can use it, it's not that it's impossible, but there might be a lag of 1 or 2 seconds in the conventional dash cam screen. Also, the fact that the screen is very smaller may make it difficult to use that particular screen for taking reverse when compared to a mirror dash cam's large display and a zero latency, zero lag rear view from the rear camera. So this is again one area where their conventional windshield mounted dash cams fall short compared to a mirror dash cams. So these are all the points which you need to consider about your conventionally mounted or a windshield mounted dash cams before you make that purchase decision. Okay, so I think I have covered most of the points, if not all, from both the advantages and disadvantages of having a mirror dash cam and having a conventional regular windshield mounted dash cams. So do think about all the points which I've shared in this video before you make that purchase decision. See what's your priority, see what are your requirements, and decide based on your requirements the kind of dash camera which you want to go with. I will put up a link to some of the best dash cameras that are available in the market, both the mirror dash cams and your conventional dash cams, right down in the description below. You can go ahead and click on that and purchase the dash cam which you clearly need. In case if you have any more doubts after watching this video, you can write that down in the comments and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. So I hope this video has helped you out in making that right decision, and in case if it did, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you get notified each time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.